Welcome to Time for Healing. I'm your host, Marion Porter of Star Winds. Today we have a show for you. Let me tell you, we have none other than Lydia Mandell, who's going to tell us all about conscious connected breathwork. Yeah, right. Lydia Mandell, here you are on my show. I'm so excited.
I'm excited to be here.
Oh, I know. When I first met you, I think the first words out of my mouth were, "What do you do?" You told me, and I said, "You're going to be on my show."
That's correct. Yeah.
And here you are.
Here I am.
So conscious connected breath work. What is it?
What is it? So conscious connected breath work is a type of breath work that helps people to connect with any stored negative energies, old patterns, anything that might be holding them back that they might not be aware of. So through the use of the breath, which is a circular breathing pattern, you will find that as you start to breathe, certain parts of your body might start to activate. You may have a strong emotional release. Sometimes people just bliss out. It really just depends on what you're coming in with and what you need. But the cool thing about it, I mean, from my own experience, is that it really drops you right into your body. And for me, for many, many years, I felt like I was like this floating head, you know, like I was just sort of this head kind of full of ideas, but no connection to the body. And as soon as I tried this, as soon as I had a session, it was like, bam, like my body just, like I just connected, like I landed in my body energetically, physically, emotionally, and it opened up a lot of space for me to heal.
So breathing, like I'm breathing right now, everybody's breathing. There's a difference between just like the breathing that we do just because we're alive and this?
Yeah, so this type of breathing, we often explain it as, so for instance, like yogic breathing is more sort of like grounding and it's more in your stomach and your diaphragm. So conscious connected breath work, we start the breath up here, up in the collarbones, up in the highest parts. We breathe all the way in and all the way up.
Oh, look at me trying to do it.
And we'll do it.
Oh, it's exhausting.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, and so the cool thing about it is we're using parts of our lungs that we don't normally use, and we're breathing through our mouths. And one of the reasons that we breathe through our mouths is so that the oxygen goes right into the body. So it's a direct connection into the body versus through the nose, around the brain, and
So we're breathing through not the nose.
Not through the nose. We're going to breathe through our mouths. And so, and it's a circular breath. So the breath circular meaning that you have equal amounts of inhale and exhale, and it's a deep inhale, relaxed exhale, deep inhale, relaxed exhale, continuous. So a typical session would be, my sessions are usually about 90 minutes. And so for the first 15 minutes or so, we would talk about things that are coming up for you, any issues that you might be dealing with, any intentions you might have going into the breathwork session. And then we might work with some affirmations if that's something that's of interest to you or that we think will be helpful. And then you would start breathing and breathe for about an hour.
I got to breathe for an hour?
Not today, you don't.
Not on. I mean,
it sounds.
But I breathe like all the time, right? Like I never stop breathing.
You never stop breathing,
but breathing for an hour?
So most people don't breathe fully and wholly. Most people breathe pretty shallowly or hold their breath throughout the day. So you may find during stressful situations that you might be holding your breath. Or a lot of people notice this, when they really start to become conscious of it, that, when they're stressed out, they're stopped. So the cool thing about this work is that you can, once you've had some sessions and once you've learned the process and once you've gotten through some issues that might come up, you can use this as a practical tool to manage things that come up for you. You can do shorter sessions of it. I like to do a thing that we call a 20-minute miracle. So some days I will just get up and I'll do 20 minutes of breathing, like right before I get out of bed. And it sort of gets me in my body, kind of moves any like stuck energy that's hanging around in my body. And the other thing is with all the oxygen that's coming in is that you experience this great level of feeling of aliveness.
Wow. This is blowing my mind. I just want to rewind just a little bit.
Yeah.
So breathing will put me in touch with emotional things?
Yes.
I
Yeah.
breathe every day and
I know.
how?
So I think it's the type of breathing and the duration of the breath. I think that's really important. So we're just walking around breathing, you know, because we have to. So imagine if you're running, and I'm not a runner, but
I'm
I
not
know
either, but I
know
get
people
the
who run.
energy of it.
So if you're running,
Jeez, I'm out of breath just thinking about it, love.
So runners do circular breathing without knowing it.
What do you mean?
So they're breathing because usually with their mouths open and usually moving. So they're moving all this energy all the time. So imagine that you're doing that, but you're not running. And so it gets you right in your body. It gets you focused. It gets you clear.
A little woozy.
Yeah. Yeah. And later we'll do 20 connected breaths, which is a way to get you focused. And it's a little different than what we do in a session, but it's a good way to show you what it looks like.
Should I have an issue in mind?
We can, yeah. So if there's something that you're working on or something that you, something that you feel you need some extra help with, or some old issue or something you're stuck on, you may want to think about that. Any little stuck areas in the body or in your, thought process.
Well, I am starting a whole new chapter in my life, and part of this is involving the search for a place to live. That's a bit hard. Can breathing help with that?
It can help with that.
Oh, well, then that's what we're going to breathe. I'm going to breathe and find myself a home. Oh, you're going to see it live here.
Yes.
Oh, so seriously then, so how would we go about, how can breathing help me find a home?
So one of the things that I do with this work, and that many breath workers do with it, is to use affirmations along with the breath work. So for you, I might say something like, my perfect home is waiting for me. And that might be your affirmation.
And then do some breathing?
And then we would breathe on that. So yeah, so we would have some time.
We could breathe on it?
Yeah, that's how we talk. We'll breathe on that.
Excuse me, I've got to breathe on this for a moment.
Exactly. It's so funny.
I'm going to start using that.
It's funny because, I was at a training and somebody said, so you're going to do a breathe later? And it's so funny because it's in our vernacular, but just walking around, people don't think of breathing as an activity.
We're all going to think about it as an activity now, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So let's explore this then.
Okay.
How do we do this?
Okay, so first I'm going to do 20 connected breaths with you just as a process to get you used to how to breathe, and then we'll go into how we would use an affirmation.
20 connected breaths. Oh,
so
let me take a sip.
I'll take a sip too.
Wait, cheers on the breaths.
Cheers.
Give me 20 breaths. I'm all worked up and I breathe all the time. I can't even stop breathing.
Okay, so the breath is going to be is going to be inhale, deep inhale, relaxing exhale, but it's continuous. So we're going to do 4 fast, 1 slow, and we're going to do it 4 times. So
4 fast, 1 slow.
And we're going to do it 4 times. So that'll be 20 connected. So I'll count off for you if that's easier.
Yeah,
okay.
Please.
And I'll do it with you.
Because there's a lot thinking here.
All right, so you can just watch me and see what I'm doing and just
jump in when I'm ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
So
Ready?
how long do we breathe in for? How many seconds?
So really just we're going to do it faster and then 1 slow for the 20 connected. It'll be just slightly faster than that for the purposes of showing how to do it. And this is something that you can do if you just feel like you need some grounding during the day, or you're feeling a little unsettled.
Wow.
Just to clear some energy. So
I'm fascinated.
Are you ready?
I am.
Okay. Do you want me to count off? All right. So it'll be 4 fast, 1 slow.
4 fast, 1 slow.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay, let's go.
I'll follow you.
Okay. Four fast. Slow. 4 fast. slow. 4 fast. Slow. So how you feeling?
A little spacey, I gotta tell you. I feel a little spacey.
Okay. So
I
you're
feel
getting
a
more
little
oxygen
dizzy.
maybe than you're used to.
Everything's coming back into focus. Okay, very good.
How are you feeling in your body? What are you noticing?
I literally feel tingly all over my body.
So that's partially it's part of the oxygenation of the blood. So as we're bringing in more oxygen, our blood is flowing better. We're connecting to our aliveness and that feeling of vitality in our bodies.
What was I doing before when I was just being alive?
I don't know. You weren't tingling, were you?
No, I do so like to tingle.
Yeah, right?
Let's breathe more.
Okay, so...
No, but seriously, so what has this done so far other than...
So it has brought more oxygen into your body. It's gotten you focused on your breath because we're not normally focused on our breath. Usually we're just walking around and like I said, sometimes we're holding our breath and we don't notice it. If we're stressed, sometimes if you're in bad traffic, you might just be like... And, or just inhaling but not exhaling, or do, you may be, doing things with your breath that you don't even notice because, it's really, it may be related to stress or tension in the body or, in your thought process. So when we breathe consciously, we focus on the breath and we also get away from the story. So the story. So the cool thing is we can have an intention or an affirmation going in, but many times when we start to do certain work, people get caught up in a story or they get caught up in how it used to be or the past or all of those things.
Or can I afford the rent or will it be in a
you
nice
go down the
neighborhood
rabbit hole.
or as I have been, okay.
Yeah, so instead of that, the cool thing about this breath work is it bypasses the rational mind, gets you in your body to where you're feeling things and allows you to focus on the breath and focus on the one thing that you want to focus on.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so this is the breathing or is there more?
So this is just an exercise to teach you about the breathing. So if I were to do a private session with someone, like I said, we would talk for a while, then you would lie down to breathe. So it's a lying down, because you do feel a little woozy sometimes, or you might feel a little lightheaded. So we want people to be lying down so that they're in a safe place. And
we could approximate it a bit sitting up, though.
Yeah. And
I'm quite snug in this chair.
We can also do it sitting up. I've worked with teachers who do all sorts of different breathing and creative breathing techniques, eye-to-eye breathing, sitting up.
Eye-to-eye breathing.
Yeah, so breathing with another person to connect with them and connect with their, energy. So there are many ways to do it, but for our purposes, I would say we would do it kind of like we would do a session, but only not lying down.
Oh, let's do it.
Okay, are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's sip. Let's have another sip.
All right, I'll have a sip too.
Okay, here we go.
So what I would do is if you came into a session, I would ask you, so you're saying that you're looking for somewhere to live.
Yeah.
And that is the biggest thing that's on your mind.
It is, yeah.
Okay. And then we talk a little bit about what kinds of things are, what's the biggest worry around that for you?
That I'm not going to get a nice apartment. Okay. That I'm going to end up in a not how I would like to be living.
Okay.
Yeah.
So less than perfect, less than your ideal situation.
Right.
Okay. So I might offer you an affirmation like, the perfect apartment for me is waiting and ready. And so as we would go into the breathing process, I would have you say it. Let's say it. So the perfect apartment for me is waiting and ready.
The perfect apartment for me is waiting and ready.
How does it feel in your body to say that?
It calms me down a bit.
Yeah.
Because, I need to find someplace fairly soon. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, the perfect apartment is ready and waiting for me.
Okay. So then we would talk a little bit more, and because we don't have an hour, we'll go right into the breathing.
No, we definitely don't have an hour. Probably by now it's 12 minutes.
Okay. So I'm going to have you breathe for a few minutes, and just to get you the experience of what it would be like. So we talk about that, and so sometimes I ask people, if they have an intention going into the breathwork session, or into the breathe, as we say.
Into the breathe.
Yeah.
We're going to go into the breathe.
Yeah. So
I love that.
Yeah. And sometimes people aren't really sure, so we just go, and then whatever needs to surface usually does. So with an intention or affirmation, I would then have the person lie down. In this case, you'll be sitting up. Close your eyes. And again, if someone doesn't feel comfortable closing their eyes, or
I may need to have them open so I can see into the control booth.
well, you can peek. Yeah, I mean, and so we really stay conscious of safety with people. So if someone doesn't feel safe with their eyes open, with their eyes closed, I would say, look, just kind of have a downcast, gaze or something like that. Right. So because we want to make sure that you feel good and you feel safe in your body and in the surroundings. So then we would start the circular breath. So deep inhale, relax, cut that.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah, cut that. Okay, so we would start with a breath in. So a deep breath in. Relax on the exhale. Again. And you would continue breathing. And as you're breathing, we notice if there are any changes in the way you feel in your body, if there are any sensations or feelings in the body. Anything that's different, any thoughts that are coming up, and just find them interesting and let them go. If there's a thought that keeps coming up, you would let me know that. And I'd say your affirmation to you: my perfect home is ready and waiting for me. And let you breathe with that. So, my perfect home is ready and waiting for me. And then if I pick up on anything else or another affirmation comes to me, I would often share that as well. The perfect apartment at the right price is ready for me. So we would breathe like this for approximately an hour.
Oh my God.
Which sounds like a really, really long time.
Uh-huh.
And then at the end, usually people say, I was breathing for a whole hour. It feels like 10 minutes, or it feels like 20 minutes.
I need a nap.
Yeah. So as you're breathing, think about the thing that you do want. Think about what your apartment looks like. Think about where you'd like it to be. Think about how you want to feel when you're there.
I'm doing it right.
Yeah, you're doing awesome. Yeah, just let it flow. And just stay connected with your breath. Stay connected with your body. Stay connected with the idea that the perfect place is waiting for you to live. The door is open.
Lot to do.
Yeah, just take your time. And if anything comes, are you noticing anything in your body? Any
My mouth
emotional?
is getting dry.
So your mouth will get dry
My throat's
at first.
getting dry.
When you first start doing this, your
I
mouth.
gotta take a sip here.
Yes, please do. So one of the things that happens with
Lord,
this
how
is,
long do you think? Woo! Oh my God, I'm seeing more than I ever saw before.
okay. Yeah. So as you're doing this, your mouth might get dry, your throat might get dry. You may feel some tingling in the body.
Lord.
Sure, take a breath, take a sip.
Oh.
Yeah. So why don't we just do a couple of deep breaths together right now?
That's a good idea.
Yeah, that's
Oh, Lord.
yeah, because we're not used to breathing this way
No.
as human beings. We don't breathe like this, and so when you're tasked with doing that, it feels really weird
This is a normal feeling?
to feel
A little woozy?
a little bit, maybe a little lightheaded because you're getting
Yeah.
in so much oxygen.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
So I've been shorting myself all these years.
You're probably, well, it's a higher level of oxygen than you need to live on. But the thing that happens when you have that level of oxygen in the body is and the breathing and the focus on the breathing is it allows your body to show you where maybe you're storing some old stuff, energy, story, whatever it might be.
I'm tightening my shoulders. It seems like I'm
Right.
tightening right here.
Yeah.
I'm just tightening them. Like these muscles, right like in the shoulders, like the inside.
So do you feel it like here or in the back?
In like core muscles, like this muscles, like I can.
Like a little
Yeah.
stiffness, yeah. So
Yeah,
I'd say
that's
move
what
your
I'm
shoulders a little bit, yeah.
For me.
A little shimmy, yeah. Yeah, and as you're breathing, breathe into that space in your shoulders that feels like that. Imagine the
Should I
breath
do this
going.
breathing some more?
Do the same breathing, but imagine that the breath is going to those places where you're feeling some of that discomfort.
I'm doing it.
Yeah, you're doing it great. And it can be as slow or as fast as you want. So if you feel like you need to slow it down, that's okay too. And you can experiment with that. You know, some people breathe really fast. Some people breathe much slower. Some people are somewhere in the middle.
It feels kind of nice.
Yeah.
Am I breaking through something?
Yeah, I think you might be. Your shoulders just went down. I noticed them just kind of like not be so tightened up like that. I noticed them just drop. Yeah.
This is pretty cool.
So it can help you to let go of tension in your body, can help you to let go of stress, and breathing regularly can help you to manage any kinds of those disconnects.
I gotta go
that
back
we
to
have.
breathing normal. Wow, I could really feel them. So we got about 5 minutes. I want to make sure we get everything out because this is fascinating, and yet again another show I wish I had an hour for.
Yeah.
So what have I just done? If I'm feeling stressed, I can just have a breathe.
I would say the first few times you do it I mean, you can always do a few conscious breaths. I wouldn't breathe for an hour or even for 20 minutes right away on your own, because sometimes things will come up and like you may have some kind of activation in your body or reaction that feels really weird, and it's important to feel safe and to have someone guiding you through it. But I would say if you're at work or somewhere where you're feeling a little stress, maybe do 10 connected breaths.
So I'm just curious. So how does this, the breath of fire, where you,
Yeah.
oh dear God, how does this compare to that? Because this is a lot gentler.
It's safe, it's gentle, it's, the point of it is not to build fire in the body, but to relax the body.
Love it. Yeah.
To get the whole brain, body, spirit connection happening. Because I think we're so, in our culture especially, we're so thought focused and not feeling focused. Or if we're body focused, it's about exercise and fitness and looking a certain way. But this gets you in your body in a really sort of real and connected way. And some people like to say it gets you to the truth faster. Ooh. So as you're breathing, if you've got something going on, it might just come to the surface. And so whether it's sort of your personal lie, which is a process that we do that is a whole other story, which is sort of like your most negative thought about yourself. So we work with that sometimes with people to create affirmations to connect them to what they truly want. Wow. So you may find that doing a breathe for an hour, a breathwork session for an hour, that some of those issues rise to the surface for the purpose of healing.
And it's best to try this with a professional, not
Yeah.
just to start breathing for an hour.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say
I want to make that point. Don't be breathing for an hour on your own there.
Yeah.
Don't be doing that. Call a trained professional.
Yeah, and I think once you've had some sessions, then your breathwork coach or your breathworker, we call ourselves both, they'd be able to tell you, I think you're ready to do some of this on your own. Because you want people to be safe, and that's my main concern.
Yeah, because I know how woozy I felt, and not on an hour, I can't.
Yeah, and you don't want to
imagine.
be walking around breathing like that, because it's not really, doesn't really make sense to do that. Yeah, so I love how quickly people get to issues using this work, and I know, for instance, I was working with someone, and they started to breathe, and like 5 minutes in, it was like, I'm not good enough, and that their issue just went to the surface. And so sometimes there can be these very strong emotional realizations, sometimes emotional release, crying or laughing or,
or my
whatever.
shoulder tension disappearing.
Or tension can disappear. So a lot of things are happening on, on this, almost on a cellular level.
Wow.
So we're sort of rebuilding pathways too in our brains, rebuilding the way that we react to things.
Amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay, so we've got about a minute, so I want to make sure we get everything out. So what's the one thing that you would like people to know about conscious connected breathwork?
I would like people to know that when you breathe consciously, it connects you to your body. It connects you to anything that's no longer serving you, that you need to move from your body or want to move from your body, and that conscious connected breath work is a simple process to be done with someone, with a professional, so that you get the best experience. And I would say that it gets you to the truth faster.
I love it. I love it. Lydia Mandell, I love you. I love this whole idea of conscious connected breathwork. Thank you so much. Thank you for bringing this.
Thank you for having me
to my show. Yeah. All right. So thank you for watching Time for Healing. Look forward to seeing you with our next show. Take it easy.
Funding for Simsbury Community Television is provided in part by contributions from viewers like you. Thank you.